Hello lovers, how you doing? Good afternoon. So in today's video, I'll just be telling you guys things about my journey to Ibadan because presently now I'm in Ibadan state in Nigeria. I actually left BH on the 24th of December for visitation and for my brother's convocation. So the journey actually took us for about 10 hours on the road before we got to Ibadan from Port Harcourt. And on the way, we passed close to or more than 7 rivers before we got to Ibadan. So we finally got to Ibadan by 8 p.m. and we had to stay in my sister's place till my brother's convocation. And I told you guys that I'm also going to surprise my bro. So when I finally saw him, he was shocked at first, but I didn't really make a video on that because I was so occupied with loads. But after the convocation, I had to stay for more days here in Ibadan since I would also like to spend more time with my sis and her family. So I had to stay for some days and get to know Ibadan before. Though my parents have already gone to Iwo, Osun State, Iwo in Osun State. They've already gone there and I've not been to Ibadan before. This is actually my first time coming to Ibadan. So I just want to get to know Ibadan very much more and I'm really, really having fun here in Ibadan. Just that I also be leaving back to PH because the holiday is about to finish and we're already done with my brother's ceremony, my brother's convocation, and the only thing left now is the marriage we came here to do. And the marriage is going to hold here in Ibadan by one of our cousins who is getting married. So since I've been in Ibadan, I've been to Bagi. Bagi is a market. It's a marketplace in Ibadan where they sell so many things and it's not that far from where my sister is staying. Ibadan is one of the biggest states in Nigeria. So anywhere you're going in Ibadan, you have to get a cab or a bike. The only things that drive in Ibadan is motorcycle and tricycle, which they also call keke nape. For those of you that know Ibadan, or those small car. Like the cars here are way smaller compared to the ones in Port Harcourt. Like three fat persons cannot enter Port Harcourt. The car are just so small compared to the ones that we have in Port Harcourt. So those are some of the things that are here and are not important. Not really like they're not in Port Harcourt, but we have motorcycle in Port Harcourt. But it's not that rampant. Except maybe you're going inside it's inside a community where cars will not enter. That's when you can use your motorcycle. So there's tricycle and there's motorcycle in Port Harcourt. But you want to use that's the one you're going to use. Not you must use a motorcycle. There are some places in Ibadan here that you have to use a machine, a motorcycle to get there because they'll arrive you in your destination. They'll just stop you at the front of where you're going to. So that's common drive in Ibadan. And since I'm not used to bike, I'm not that bike type. It was actually very difficult for me to ride on bike. So I don't really ride on bike alone. I ride it with my cousin sister house because because in PH I don't use bike. The bike is just it's kind of it's dangerous. But anyway, I don't usually use bike. I would rather prefer to ride on a tricycle than a bike back in PH. But here, you either use a tricycle or you use a bike. Like it's compulsory because which other cab are you going to use? No cab at all, no taxi. So you either use a bike or use a tricycle. And the tricycle will not really get to where you're going to, and you're going to pay the same charge as bike. So it's better you just use the bike. So after I went to Bagi, I also went to Dupe. I went to Dupe. I went to Dupe Kokomo, and close to the Dupe, they had a shop very close to it. The Dupe is a very tall building. I guess it's the tallest building in Ibadan. So it's 26 stories or less. It's the tallest building in Ibadan, and I don't think there's any building like that in Port Harcourt. There's none. So I went to Dupe and I went to see the tallest building and I also went to the ShopRite. So those are kind of different things I've seen here in Ibadan and not really or quite in Port Harcourt. Then I also get the chance to pass the Afi Olu Ibadan. It means the palace of the king of Ibadan. It's a big palace, and the palace is very close to a market. The marketplace is called Ojaoba, which means the king market, or the market of the king. It's called that because it's close to the king's palace. It doesn't mean a normal person can go there to buy things and all. Guys, you won't believe what I saw next. Mr. Biggs, like seriously. Mr. Biggs was also in Port Harcourt, but other eateries overshadowed it. And things here in Ibadan are quite cheap compared to the ones in PH in Port Harcourt. West and north side of Nigeria, things are kind of cheap compared to the south. I actually come from Iwo in Osun State, and I've been to Iwo more than 3 times. I've traveled to Iwo more than 3 times, so I just wanted to enjoy Ibadan a little longer and have much more experience compared to the ones I've had with Iwo. And also, what we experience here in the West African country, precisely here in my country, Nigeria, is Hamatan compared to the winter season that the abroad experience. So this Hamatan season is when everywhere will be so dusty and cold and also dry. Is a season where you experience cold, dryness, and dust season compared to the abroad where everywhere will be cold and snowy. So our own snow here in Nigeria is actually dust. So here in Ibadan is kind of too cold, and we feel the Hamatan very faster compared to in Port Harcourt. In Port Harcourt, the Hamatan is not that serious. The cold is not even serious at all. But here in Ibadan, the cold is so serious that every morning we experience cold and just dry skins and dehydration. There's no water. Is always sunning. A very hot sun. It's always sunning and dust everywhere. We usually clean every day. If not, your house will be so dust. So when we were coming from PH to Ibadan, there was nothing like Hamatan. So I did not remember to carry my jacket. Like I just forgot it in Port Harcourt. I could want to finish your girl here. I cold dust. Inhaling excess of dust is not good for the health. So we usually use nose masks everywhere we go, and that's just it. So the cold part is totally different here in Ibadan compared to Port Harcourt. So that's another difference anyway. So guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoy watching this video. If you enjoy watching this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Don't make it your last time to see this face. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in my next video, guys. See ya.